Hi everyone, welcome to Vlogmas Day 14. I'd love to hear how you celebrate Christmas in your part of the world. I'm from South Africa originally, and Christmas is in the middle of summer. Most of my childhood Christmas lunches were outside in the shade on a beautiful warm day. Now that I'm in Canada, I obviously can't do that anymore, and because I have a son with a Christmas birthday, our celebrations are a little bit different as it is. A lot of people ask, does he mind having a birthday on Christmas Day, or does he feel kind of cheated? He loves it. We have always given his birthday the attention it deserves, and he feels that it's kind of special to have a birthday on Christmas Day. It definitely makes the day extra special for my family. And now, let's check out door 14. Here is the blurb for today. During a 5,000 meter heat at the 2016 Olympic Games, Nikki Hamlin tripped awkwardly and took rival Abby D'Agostino with her in the fall. Despite being the one tripped, Abby stayed and helped Nikki to her feet, only to fall down herself, writhing in pain due to a serious knee injury. The roles now reversed as Nikki stayed with Abby, encouraging her to get back on her feet and finish the race, which they both did, winning the world's hearts along the way. I remember that. That was amazing sportsmanship. And you see that a lot in the world of athletics. Athletes are really nice people, and they genuinely care about the people they are competing against. My son has done competitive track athletics, and one of his track meets happened on an incredibly hot day. Marshals were spraying athletes with water as they ran around the track, and as people finished their races, they were getting water and freezy pops and anything to stay hydrated, because that was a potentially dangerous situation. My son was running in, I believe it was a 3,000 meter event. It was one of his longer distances. And as he was running down the home stretch in the final lap, one of his teammates was running on the inside of the track along with him, just spraying him with water as he ran. It was just so nice, It was a genuine example of an athlete looking out for another athlete. I just loved it. I saw a lot of that day. Let's look at today's first act of kindness. Not only Olympians need a helping hand. Ask a senior in your family or neighborhood if they need help with anything. Clean the bathroom, cook, pick up groceries, rake the lawn, shovel snow. Whatever it is, you're the right person for the job. It is nice to do things for other people, just to make their day a little bit easier. One of the most random acts of kindness that I was on the receiving end of happened shortly after I landed in Canada for the first time. Now bear in mind, I came from South Africa where, the temperature's always warm, the winters are mild, they don't get snow as a general rule in the big cities. So I was not used to Canadian winter driving conditions, and specifically, I had not learned that when you are removing snow from the car, you have to include the roof. May seem like common sense, but if you have not lived in this environment growing up, you just don't think about it. So I was driving along, I'd removed the snow from the windshield, and I'd cleared in front of the headlights, all that kind of stuff. My windows were clear, but there was snow on the roof of my car that I just hadn't thought of removing. And as I braked at a traffic light, this snow just kind of slid off the roof of the car and landed up on my windshield, and I couldn't see anything. I barely had time to process this when some teenage kid jumped out of the car in front of me, ran to my car and brushed the snow from my windshield, jumped into his car, and then they drove off. I didn't even have time to thank this kid. It was just it happened so fast. I was very grateful because I think I would have been in a little bit of a state of panic, to be honest. So I'm really glad he was there. And the second act of kindness. Ask an immigrant where they come from and learn about their country and culture. Now that is something that I am a big believer in, and I have practiced that many, many times. When my son was in elementary school, I was very involved with the school. I was the school council chair, and I helped out on the track and field and cross-country teams. One of my friends was the ESL teacher at the school, English as a second language. And I volunteered in her class a lot. I went on field trips and I got to know her students very well. Her students were mostly from refugee families. They came from all kinds of places. They had some incredible stories. And it was so interesting and incredibly humbling to get to know what some of these families had been through in the places they had come from. When the weather was nice, there was a thing called Kilometer Club, where the kids would show up about 15-20 minutes before the morning bell, and they would run laps around the schoolyard. For every lap they completed, they would get a popsicle stick. And the class that collected the most popsicle sticks at the end of the season was given a pizza lunch. It was a great way to get these kids to exercise. They absolutely loved it. I was the lady handing out the sticks at the end of each lap. At the end of Kilometer Club one day, I was gathering up all of the stuff and getting it ready to take back into the school building when this little kid came up to me. He was from one of the African countries, I do not remember which one. He was in grade 2, I believe, so he would have been about 7. And he said, I really love Kilometer Club. He said, this is my favorite part of the whole day. And I said, well, that's fantastic. What is it about Kilometer Club that you love so much? And what he said is something I will never forget. He said, for the first time ever, I don't have to run for my life. I can just run. Some of these kids came from absolute trauma. And the stories they could tell from young ages were just heartbreaking. So this is something that I would encourage. Get to know the immigrants and refugees in your community and learn about them. It is eye-opening, it is humbling, it is inspiring to see the strength that some of these people have. And that's day 14. Less than 2 weeks to go before Christmas. How will you be spending that day? Will you be with family or just chilling by yourself at home? No matter what your plans are, make sure you're kind to yourself. Get yourself a new toaster. You've had your toaster for a long time. Sometimes the toast comes out as bread, sometimes it's charcoal, sometimes it toasts one side more than the other. A nice piece of toast can start your day off on the right note. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, live your best life and be kind. Bye.